Hello everyone and welcome back to Lost Planeswalker. You're here with me, Jesse, the Lost Planeswalker, and this is another video suggestion for one of my viewers. This one is from Shad Q, and he asks, can I do a video about Phyrexian oil counters? Yes, I definitely can. So, here's what you need to know and make the most out of them. Phyrexian oil counters were created for Phyrexia, all will be one. They are a great flavor counter representing the glistening oil of Phyrexia. The oil counters have many different effects based on the card's ability that relies on them. Some get bigger, some you can use to activate abilities. All around, that's a really cool ability. Oil counters work really well with proliferate cards, and there are a bunch more that came out in Phyrexia All Will Be One. But this video is just going to be about oil counters, so let's look into some. There are a total of 44 new cards that have oil counters, or care about them. And starting off, we have Norn's Wellspring, Vat of Rebirth, and Mind Splicer Apparatus. Norn's Wellspring can help you scry cards to get what you want on top, and then you can remove counters to draw that card. Vat of Rebirth can be used to cheaply return creatures to the battlefield. And Mind Splicer Apparatus, which makes your instant and sorceries cheaper to cast, can be used to help you get ahead of your opponents. Font of Progress, Incubation Sac, and Tablet of Completion are some more artifacts that use oil counters. Font of Progress can be used to help mill out your opponents, and the more counters, the faster they mill. Incubation Sac can be used to make creatures a little higher cost and not really the best, and unfortunately I think one of the worst rare artifacts I've seen in a while is Tablet of Completion. Now, this works pretty well if you have oil counter and proliferate strategies, but it's really not that great, and I would avoid it if you're playing it outside of an oil counter deck. Now I want to show off some cards that have an upside for placing and then using those counters. Mercurial, Spelldancer, Archfiend of the Dross, and Vindictive Flamestoker. Mercurial, Spelldancer can be used to copy spells. Archfiend of the Dross can be used as an engine in an Aristocrat's deck, and a big swinger for only 4 mana. And Vindictive Flamestoker can be used to draw a bunch of cards if you cast a lot of spells. Atraxis Skitterfang can use oil counters to gain useful ability. Sawblade Scamp can be used to ping your opponents. And the Filigree Silex can be used to destroy permanents or deal some massive damage to your opponent. Oil counters are pretty useful, and the Monumental Facade, Serum Sovereign, and Rustvale Cultivator are some more cool cards. Monumental Facade can place oil counters onto creatures. Serum Sovereign has the ability to cast a Serum Visions every turn if you can activate it, and Rustvale Cultivator can add or subtract an oil counter to untap a land. Now let's look at some creatures that can place some oil counters on themselves. Exuberant Fuseling, Armored Scrapgorger, and Evolving Adaptive will benefit for having more counters on them. Exuberant Fuseling gets larger and more threatening as the game goes on. Armored Scrapgorger exiles cards from graveyards and gets bigger in the process. And Evolving Adaptive acts just like the Evolve mechanic from Ravnica, getting bigger whenever you play a creature that has a bigger power or toughness. And Urbrass Forge makes a creature that gets bigger each turn. Trawler Drake gets bigger with each non-creature spell you cast, and Necrosquito gets bigger with each card that enters your graveyard. If you want to build a commander deck around oil counters, there's only one option: Migloz Maze Crusher. Migloz has a bunch of abilities that can be activated for as long as you can place counters on him. It can be a very powerful card, and activating multiple abilities can be super powerful, but it still needs a lot more synergy to be worth building around. Green and red have a good amount of oil counters in them, but I don't see this as a very powerful commander because there just isn't enough oil counter cards to really make his ability all that great in a commander game. But who knows? Maybe we'll see more oil counters in this next set, and we can really take advantage of him. Well, thank you for watching. Maybe I helped you see some fun cards that come along with oil counters. I hope you leave a comment and like down below if you enjoyed, and please consider subscribing to my channel. And as always, I'll see you later, Planeswalkers.